All right, folks. It's been a while since I did a pre-recorded. So this came in an email, and this is from Ray Alexander. And he put some things together. And this is I think it's an old article by Cornell. He says, "Are economically unattractive black men hurting black women's marriage prospects?" And when I got an email, man, I answered back because it kind of irritated me. I guess the red pill and even the black pill has taken its toll on me. And I said, who cares about black women's marriage prospects? Especially a black man. Why should we care about a black woman's marriage prospects? And he said, we should care about black women's prospects. And I replied, if black women and the black society actually cared about black women's prospects, they would actually care more about black boys and black men. Because if they're economically unattractive, then that's a problem that we should do something about. That's something that you can actually do something about. If there isn't a supply, then there isn't a supply. There's nothing you can do about it. The only way to actually fix a supply problem is to make more of them. But people forget that part. And I'm getting rather tired of the onus always being put on black men, and black men solely. Like black men are supposed to be these supermen, are supposed to turn themselves into these economic giants after 300 years of not doing so, which is insanity to me. Like black men have been just like loping around, suffering in this mire of poverty for 300 years. And if they just do a Thanos snap, they can turn all this stuff around against all the odds that they have to face. Read a little piece of it. Scholars and public observers worry about the decline in black marriages because marriage has historically provided benefits. Individuals who are married enjoy better physical and mental health and have more social ties and higher household incomes, accumulate more wealth, and raise children who do better in terms of health and social outcomes than the children of unmarried parents. Researchers have accumulated considerable evidence that social and economic impediments to marriage matter more than value orientations. And according to the preeminent sociologist William Julius Wilson, there has been a dearth of marriageable black men for black women to choose from as one major factor in the decline of black marriages. Okay, said all that to say what? That magically black men are supposed to show up and make things better. Chicken and egg. Without marriage, you can't have more successful black children, black males included, but to have more marriages and more marriage partners, they have to be successful. So to be successful, most likely you have to be educated and brought up in a stable environment so you can be a more productive adult. But you expect broken children from broken families to all of a sudden be all these kick-ass people. And history has shown that has never worked. Ask how important it is that a good husband or a partner provide a good income. 2/3 of black women said it is very important compared to 32% of white women. That's double, right? 2/3 is 66%, which is double the 32% or 1/3 of what white women say, right? Roughly 55% of black women said it was very important for a husband or partner to be well educated compared to only 28% of white women. Again, roughly double of what white women require. Half of black women said that financial stability should be an important precondition for marriage, but only a quarter of white women felt that way. Again, twice as many, double the percentage of black women felt that way rather than white women. We're not even talking about Latino. We're talking about white women. In other words, let me get this straight. You live in a racist country that has a history of slavery, that has a history of putting black men as the permanent underclass, over-policing black men, undereducating black boys, discriminating against them in the workforce, putting black men at the bottom of every single statistic in the United States. And not only do you not help them, not provide programs for them, not provide any kind of assistance for these black men. And that's understandable if we're talking about white women and they wanted black men, or Asian women if they wanted black men, or even Latino women if they wanted black women. But your own women want twice as much out of you as any other group. They up the requirements for you, knowing the factors that you face, because we're all raised in the same family. We're all raised in the same neighborhood. We all go to the same schools. We supposed to suffer under the same oppression. And black women say that they understand, yet they require twice as much, twice the requirement out of a black man than a white woman would. A friend of mine 30 years ago told me that all black people need to be laying on some psychologist's couch and get counseling, get deep psychological help, because black people are insane. And black women are not only delusional, they're insane. What universe do you think that this is? What country do you think that you are in? This is too common, but it kind of set me the fuck off when I see stupid shit like this, man. Like, you can't put things into fucking context. Why do you even print a study where black women require twice as much as everybody else and giving 10% of help to the men that they desire to be that way? This ain't magic. This ain't fantasy. You can't snap your fingers or rub a lamp and get kick-ass black men out of freaking nowhere. You can't do that in any country. No place on the planet that you can name. No place. If you do not invest into your children, you do not get a return in the adults. It's a simple equation. Dr. Johnson read an article just last week where 10% of your fucking boys cannot functionally read in the 8th grade. 10 freaking percent, which is a national crime. Yeah, black women want kick-ass black men on the other side. Are you fucking insane? If this is the kind of women that we have that expect this kind of bullshit, then we need to drop their asses right now. I do mean right now, because this insanity has gone on too long. This insanity has gone on for at least 60 years. The book he quoted, William Julius Wilson, wrote that book back in 1987. That's 33 years ago. That's 2 generations. What have they done in 2 generations? Every time there's an initiative to actually help freaking black boys, black women kill it. And then you have an expectation that black men are supposed to pick themselves up by their bootstraps without bootstraps. We're supposed to stand up with 3 feet on our neck. The white man, the white woman, and the black woman. And have the nerve to demand something. Are you out your freaking minds? You cannot alpha your way through this shit. It doesn't work. It's never worked in the history of the world. And I'm tired of this delusional bullshit that black people actually spout on a fucking daily basis. Are you fucking kidding me? You're trying to shame black men into basically killing themselves just like the white man did. You want them to work 20 hours a day and virtually work themselves to goddamn death because you won't do what's necessary. I see why SYSBM say we need to blow this goddamn thing up, because it doesn't make sense. And the things coming out of black people's mouths, not just women, but black people's mouths, black men and black women, with this insanity does not make sense. If you do not invest into your children, you do not get a return as an adult. It was said back in slavery. I'm trying to remember the brother's name. You guys will probably print it in the comment section, because right now I'm pissed. Frederick Douglass. It's better to raise good children than to fix broken men. Black people have had this shit backwards for 300 years. We're constantly trying not fix broken men, shame broken men into fixing themselves. Are you freaking kidding me? Where has that ever happened in the history of the world? Ever. Ever. You don't invest in your children, you don't get a return. You don't invest in your boys, you don't get the financially stable husbands. You put them in the worst schools, in the worst positions possible, and then expect them to be great citizens. It don't work that way. That's why your success rates are so low. It's common sense. Why do you think there's no black scholars? Or very few black scholars, very few black PhDs, very few black males that have bachelors in STEM. Why do you think there's no boys in STEM? They can't read. Percentages are low. And the first time a white man offers you a goddamn check, you push his ass off into special ed, which they have to pay more money for, and pump him full of ADHD drugs so you can get a freaking check. And then you dump him out on the street and say, now you got to go fend for yourself. Are you freaking kidding me? In this modern mechanized society, you're dooming that kid for failure in the second grade. And then come out on the other side. Ain't no black men to come out here and take care of me. Ain't no black men to marry my daughter. And you think that you need this big, massive campaign, this big ass Marshall Plan for black boys, which the Brookings Institute said you should have a Marshall Plan for black boys and black men to rectify this situation, which they did say. And black women won't get off their ass and do the simplest thing, which is read to their child, to their boy, from the time they're 3 years old for 30 minutes a day. If you just did that with nothing else, with no money, with nothing else, just read to that child, get off your ass, get away from the TV, put the phone down, stop trying to party and screw everything, and read to your child for 30 minutes a day. If you just did that, by the time he's in middle school, he'll be much more successful. Although most of those ills could be eliminated. You know how hard it is to get a black woman to read to her son for 30 minutes a day. Out of 24 hours, they spend more time dressing him and combing his hair than they do reading to him. That means you don't care. That means that you're embarrassed. And I'm tired of the black community not caring about their males, about their men, about their boys. I know this is an angry rant. I haven't read it in a long time. Insanity. Insanity. Sometimes, man, I just want to take a nuclear bomb and blow up the whole black community and start over, man. I really do. Just frustration. You have got to be absolute freaking kidding me with this kind of shit. And you think that this is just supposed to fix itself. If you just shame black men enough, it's going to fix itself. I don't know what's worse, white racism or black insanity. I really don't. Anyway, I think I shouted enough. Had to quick get that off my chest. But this is BGS out, man, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.